Morning, folks. I've been meaning to talk about this book I chanced upon at the Half Price Books. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, I chanced upon it. I was going to the New Age section. I always go to the CDs and the DVDs to look at, see what's there. And then sometimes I'll go over to the New Age section to look. There's an author, Ted Andrews. I really like his stuff. He passed away in 2009, I believe, from cancer, if I remember correctly. And I will grab a book. The cover, I was like, that's kind of an interesting, goofy title. Let me see. And I randomly turn to pages. I do it at the library a lot. I'll see a cover and I'll be like, huh, that's interesting. And I'll do a random page turn. You open it and I turn to this, and it says, positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. One of the other must dominate. It is your responsibility to make sure that positive emotions constitute the dominating influence of your mind. Here, the law of habit will come to your aid. Form the habit of applying and using the positive emotions. Eventually, they will dominate your mind so completely that the negatives cannot enter it. Only by following these instructions iteratively and continuously can you gain control over your subconscious mind. The presence of a single negative in your conscious mind is sufficient to destroy all chances of constructive aid from your subconscious mind. I read that and I was like, oh, that's really good. I like that. That basically you can't have basically the mind where you're either waking up or having the attitude of gratitude, or you at the same time you can't be doing that or waking up and looking for something to be offended by, for drama every day. So you either go this way or that way. You can't really, it's almost like a blender if you're trying to do both. So all it takes is that little bit of negative. Like right now, I was all excited for my do nothing weekend, and then yesterday I was like, oh, I've got something leaking. So and it's not like the end of the world. Nothing's going to blow up because of a leak. It's just something that has to be taken care of. I'm like very trained, I guess. I've trained myself to deal with this matter. I've been wanting to do it since 2012. It took me till 2016 to start messing with it. I've rebuilt this thing so much, just gathering information and knowledge through the years. So if you really want to do something, you just do it. Just start doing it, and you'll hit the negatives. But you can't let the negatives completely overwhelm you. You have to try to go, well, that's a learning experience. Oh, I learned not to do that again. I mean, I've tried to open something when it's frozen and busted it, so then I was like, oh, don't do that again. I actually did it last night, but that didn't break it. I made sure it wasn't frozen. So you learn. You keep learning and learning and learning. And that's a lot about this book, talking about learning. And I recommend it highly. If you get a chance, it's really good. I'm slowly reading it. I read in the morning, so, I'm not quite halfway through. And it actually has you reread it. And I study, and I'm like, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. So basically that's what I'm going to impart to you today. This is like the 4th or 5th video I've made this morning. And each one I'm just like, oh, I don't like how I sounded there. I don't like that's kind of too much info. This is kind of negative. I try not to sound too negative in my videos. I try to be kind of uplifting and positive. I'm going to positively, I think, drink another cup of tea here and watch the animals. Adios. It's sunny.